It's all for you. Yeah, yo. There whenever it matters, and even more when you feel like it doesn't. Protect you so you never feel like you wasn't. Know I'm right alongside you. Either that or I'm behind you, but always got you. End the discussion, nothing means more. First one to offer is shoulders for what you reach for. Thought I saw the eyes of the world until I seen yours. And know that I ain't see a better view yet. I'm with whatever, so don't ever you fret. Know that you covered, not a hurdle or a heartbreak. A change what a partake, cause none of them won't ever get comfortable in your walkway. My job is to aware you, fully loaded, prepare you for all of the above that I'm never letting get near you. But still in all, give you every advantage I found. Couldn't find a better fit for them, along with my crown. And since the baton was passed, I've been down. Cause failing's not an option, and dad is not a noun, not at all.
Welcome to the Dad is Not a Noun podcast. This is a special episode featuring myself, Rockin' Mr. Magic of Geek Nation, joined by my good friend, host of Dad is Not a Noun podcast, Mr. Ishmael Street.
What's going on, everybody?
What's going on, Ish? You feeling good?
I'm feeling lovely.
Awesome. Well, we're both feeling lovely because today we are joined by our special guest, New York's own NBA All-Star, Kenny Anderson. Kenny, welcome to Dad is Not a Noun.
Oh, man. Thank you for having me. Thank you.
No, thank you for being on the show, man. Truly, man. Truly appreciate it. Let's get into it. I enjoyed the film. Mr. Chibbs was a great film. Just emotional, deep, powerful impact. What did you want this film to come across to people that's watching, who watched the film?
I just wanted to be real, what I was, just the whole aspect of Kenny Anderson, you saw it real and uncut, and that's what Jill Campbell did a great job. That's my director. She told me, what do you want? You want to just to do a documentary like everybody else, or you want to be different? And I said, I want to have some type, let's be different. And being different was just telling the truth, the honest truth. And that's what I did. That's what I did. And I was finished. And one of the reasons that I could do the ongoing truth is I was finished playing basketball. Right. So it was just boom, it was a great, I believe it got me going in the right direction for self. And that's what that's what I wanted it to do. And it's just, Mr. Chibbs is just a blessing for myself.
And it definitely, I got to know you as the man than the basketball player.
Yeah.
And then one of my favorite parts of the film was your interaction with your kids. Yeah. So your kids watching the film, what did their response were like from the film?
We got ups and downs. Some was very, now my daughter Danielle is 30. Chrissy is 28. Lyric is 26. And Jazz is 24, and Tiana, who I live with, is 20. And then Kenny, my oldest son, is 21, 22. And Devin is about 18, 19. And my son, who I live with, Kenny Jr., is about 20 also. So, they all, got different opinions about my film, but I just wanted to be real and honest with them.
And then being open and transparent about your childhood trauma with them, how did they feel about finally knowing that for the first time?
It was a little bothersome, for them, but I had to be honest with them and let them know, your dad wasn't always, I wasn't always a good man, and in time, I'm 50 years old now. I had it early. I went to Archbishop Malloy High School, and I kind of, that's when I really put all my work into myself somewhat. Mm-hmm. I put it all in myself, and I, from 15 years old to 18, 19, I was just focused on making it. I was focused on making it. And, Malloy was everything to me, my high school. And it just was a blessing that I got into the school. Brother John Klein. I remember, when I had to take the test to get into the school, took a test by myself in the office by myself. So wasn't nothing going on. It was sort of like, you ain't gonna cheat on this test to get into school. So I took the test and I passed. And Howie Lawrence was a good friend of mine. He coached women. He paid my tuition with no hold bar, with nothing. No, he paid my tuition. He just said, you keep your average over B average, you're fine. And I was fine. And I had to do a lot of work. And I wanted to do it because I had all of this set up in my mind to make it for me and my mother. Right. So I wanted to make it, and how can I make it in basketball? Vincent Smith, my mentor, he said, hey man, you can make it. This is how. He gave me the ingredients and I just took it and ran with it, took it and ran with it, and it all helped. It all paid off for me, and I just thank God.
And it did, man. What you got, Mr. Magic?
Huh?
I was talking to
okay.
Mr. Magic. What you got? What question you got, Mr. Magic?
Well, my question for you, Kenny, was you mentioned that 15 to 18-year-old time frame.
Yes.
Where you were really focused on making it.
Yeah.
So my question is kind of a two-part for you, is that when you were doing that, was that kind of an escape for you mentally from everything that was going on in your personal life?
Yeah, because my personal life, it definitely was, but it all happened to me when I was younger, 11 years old, when the child molestation took place. 11, I was trying to find myself, and then when I got it, I just threw it under the rug. You know what I mean? When things happen, you just throw it under the rug, and I became this high school star. And that's when I just threw it under there. You're not going to get none of that now. When I became the high school star in New York City, it was just a blessing that I played my freshman year on the varsity team.
Yes,
which was never, Archbishop Lloyd never did that, and I made it. I made the varsity team as a freshman. I just wanted to be on the team. I didn't know if I was going to play. He didn't play me the first quarter. He didn't play me.
I read that he didn't play the first quarter, of every game.
Yeah,
like, you would think after a couple games and you proved yourself, he would be smart enough. Like, I should play this kid more.
No, I really didn't care. I was just happy to be on a varsity team as a freshman.
Right.
That's how I was. That's how I was brought up, and then when I got this, recently, I think last year, Greg Tracy was a senior. I was a freshman. He was on that team, and I sent him a ball. Happy birthday! I get a little emotional.
Oh yeah, you think about those teammates, those bonds that you can make for life. Yeah,
that's what I got.
Yeah,
my high school, those guys, Ralph James, I still talk to today. Pop Jennings, Greg Tracy, them are my high school teammates, and that's when it all started for me. That's where it all started for me. Basketball, understanding, basketball and understanding about team. I was 15 years old, and I was talented, but I had to wait my turn.
Right.
Coach Curran, my coach, passed away, who means the world to me.
15 years old is a heck of an age to really start, molding yourself there.
Yeah.
But it's crazy when you look at a lot of the athletes who have had great prep careers.
Yeah.
Your prep career is still one of the greatest ever. I mean, you were a 4-time parade All-American, which no one had done since Kareem. And you were the first player to be All-City 4 times. Like, that is with all the New York players, with Kenny Smith and Tinsley and Felipe Lopez and Mark Jackson, like all these New York names, and your prep career was tops.
Yeah, it was. It made me understand, that it was more than basketball. You know what I mean? And like I said, it was easy. Basketball is easy. Life is hard, and that's the motto of my documentary. Because and then I chose to go to Georgia Tech, with Coach Crimmins. It was just an awesome. My basketball run, high school, college, pro. It just was great, man. It's just been great.
Speaking on college, there's two things, sports side and obviously personal side.
Yeah.
Talk to us about Lethal Weapon 3, because a lot of people forget about that trio.
Yeah, Lethal Weapon 3 was just awesome. Me meeting those guys my freshman year. It was weird. It was sort of like my high school year all over again. Down at Georgia
with the
Tech.
upperclassmen.
Yes, and Dennis Scott was there. He was awesome. He was in great shape. Brian Oliver, my 2 guard, 3 guard. He played 2 and 3, and then myself, Kenny. Myself and Malcolm Mackey was a forward from Chattanooga. Johnny McNeil, Carl Brown. I know the whole team. It just was just great memories. We went all the way to the Final Four. We won the ACC that year. It was just great, man. Georgia Tech means the world to me. And this is what, pros is great. Don't get me wrong. But my high school career, Archbishop High School and Georgia Tech. Georgia Tech, that's my two memorable teams that I played on and I love. I love Georgia Tech and Malloy. Those are my 2 teams that I came up on.
Well, definitely. I mean, that's where you made your mark collegiately, because there's that probably one of the most infamous crossovers in collegiate history. Like that still gets replayed when they show clips of Final Four moments. Is Kenny Anderson and Bobby Hurley. What I'm sure you've been asked, like, what was that moment like where you're going up against a juggernaut during that time in Duke?
It was great, but I went to juggernauts in high school in New York area, the playground. So it was just another competition that I had to go through. Bob Hurley and Duke was a great school, and Bob Hurley was awesome. But I knew I had to give it my all, and I was so excited. Because back home was watching the game on TV, and I had to show out. I had to show out, and I did that. It was just great games, great competition going against Bob Hurley and Duke University.
So in college is when you became a father for the first time. Is that correct?
Yes.
So what? Well, you've got this basketball success, and then you've got this child brought into your life. How did things change for you when that happened?
Oh, it was great. Danielle was awesome. I had her in college, and I just had to make way. Which I did. My mother told me, you got to be a father. And I was trying to be a father. I was trying to. Coming. She was coming. I was visiting her. She was coming home to see my mom. Everything, and just then years came. I was still playing. It just got difficult. But Danielle and Chrissy, those my oldest children. So they didn't get the I like to say the bad Kenny. They was always in my life. I was always in their life. I was there seeing them and raising them.
And do you think that was kind of a struggle with you because you had a lot of mentors growing up, but you didn't have like an actual father figure? Yeah. Was that the reason why? Can you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, it was kind of difficult. I just didn't understand how to be a father, because I didn't have a father in my life, and I was on top of the world, just playing ball and just living the life. You know what I mean? So it was very difficult for me to understand. And, now I'm starting to get it. I get the life, and I understand, about being a father. Before I was just trying to be myself. A lot of selfishness going on, in my own heart.
And then also, I can feel that passion or that sense of community, because that's the one thing I got from the movie is that, the one phrase he said, it takes a village to raise a child, and you're a prime example of it.
Yes.
And basketball was that. So can you talk about how basketball became that sacred place of community for you? You didn't kind of get it from home, but it was from basketball, and then, getting raised in New York in the street ball of New York.
I got raised, I got raised, and I love where I come from, Left Rack City, Queens. They raised me. Everyone had their hand in it. Everybody helped me out when I needed something to eat, pizza. They would offer and take care of that. To build pizza, drinks, and just all food. They knew I had something special, and they wanted to help that. And they all helped me develop that. But the father issue, they really couldn't fathom that. They just didn't see that in me, that I was making kids like that. You know what I'm saying? But then you get into my situation of making kids that maybe with the wrong woman or whatever, and then they want to start wanting money. So therefore, I had to, understand a lot more of what was really going on in the process.
How was that struggle of knowing who was genuine, that wanted to see you do well, from the people who was trying to take advantage of you?
It was a real struggle. I really, because my mother taught me you always got to give. You always got to give, and you to help a lot of people. That's where we come from, and that's what I still, like, when my wife to this day, she's like, you got to calm down. You can't help everyone. And that's what I was trying to do. And that can get you that can get you messed up at times with your finances if you're not careful. And that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to help. I had a Kenny Anderson Summer Classic, play ball. Like we went to like 68 teams in Left Rack City that I did totally on my own. So,
Wow.
And so for 10 years straight.
Wow.
So that's something that I always wanted to do, give my neighborhood something back to them. And I did. It was awesome.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
And talk about your passion for coaching, because I know you want to be a coach, like a coach for a college team one day.
Yeah, I'm coaching at Fisk University. I'm down here in Nashville. I'm coaching now at the NAIA HBCU. I'm the head coach. So it's a great feeling. It's a great feeling. And, just to understand the game, I know the game of basketball. That's easy. But just to give these guys outlook on life. And that's what I'm trying to do. If I made it, you could make it, it's through basketball or in life, real jobs and things of that nature, just setting it up.
And it's an awesome opportunity to form the lives of young people when you're coaching on any level, but particularly for yourself at the collegiate level. These are, obviously young men who are about to jump into the real world, and you're one of those final lines of defense between them and the wolves that are out there waiting for them.
Yeah.
When it comes to that portion of coaching, does the connection to basketball just make it easier for them to speak into their lives?
Yeah, the connection to basketball, is easy. That I can get to them. I can get to them because I played it on every level. So It's like, wow, who am I? Oh, I'm listening to Kenny Anderson. He played on a pro level, played in college level. He played on a high. He should know about that. So then I can reach them in life, what's going on in their lives and things of that nature, and just being true to them. and understanding. A lot of kids nowadays is not being lied to a lot, and and that's what college basketball comes down to, but not by me. I'm gonna be real and upfront with you. If I can do it, I can do it. If I can't, I can't. And a lot of coaches that coach in the college are not truthful to some of these young men. They're truthful to their universities because they're trying to, they're trying to ball out and get wins so they can move up and go ahead. I'm just trying to help these young men survive in a thing called life.
Yes.
That's so true. And then also talk about your interaction with your son in basketball, because one of your sons is a good basketball player. So can you talk about that dynamic of basketball and the fatherhood with your son?
Yeah, he goes to JUCO. He's decided to go to JUCO college. I was talking to him today, and I am in Oklahoma, NAO. That's what school he goes to, and he's doing extremely well, working out. They're trying to wait and see if they're going to have their season in January. But I just try to give them advice, straight up advice. No BS. Just work on yourself, work on your game, be a good teammate, and things will work out for you. And he's working out, and he can shoot the ball extremely well. But now, he's 6'3". I want him to put the ball on the floor to make others better, and that's what he's trying to do. He plays defense, but he's getting better at everything he do. He's 20 years old, so I think he's gonna be great. I think he's gonna be great.
Because I remember on the one part of the film, he was like, when he was talking about the practice to be a student of the game. Watch the game. Watch a college, watch pro. Can kind of touch on that of him learning, try to teach him to be a student of the game. I
try to tell him to watch the game and watch what you like, what you don't like, take a little bit of everybody's game and work on it. But, work on a guy that's playing defense 94 feet all the way up. See, you can learn from that type of defender. How guys come off screens. Ray Allen. Check out how Ray Allen uses his screens. We work on shot selection. Things of that nature. Look at the game. Don't just look at the dunks. A lot of kids look at the dunks nowadays, and they're not getting the full aspect of the game of basketball.
I blame that on ESPN, but ESPN, I love you, but the Sports Center highlights definitely got people from paying full attention to the game. You mentioned, and it's really awesome that high school and your college teams are the ones closer to your heart. What is there one team that you played in the NBA that was your favorite one to be on? Whether it's not just the organization, but a certain year where that team was just special to you.
Well, my NBA teams, New Jersey Nets, Boston Celtics, and Portland Trailblazers. Those three teams mean the world to me. Played 13 years with those three teams. And then all the other teams, it was just, I continue to try to stay in and make some money. That's all I was trying to do. But those three teams, New Jersey Nets, Boston Celtics, Portland Trailblazers, those are my heart. Those are my teams that I love, truly love, and nothing more like playing in the NBA. It's just great talent, and then you're traveling, you're meeting you're meeting all new people.
That one that's awesome. That those organizations mean so much to you.
Yeah.
As a fan, as a kid watching you play, that 92-93 team that you were on, just like was really, really interesting. If you could talk just about the dichotomy with the older players who were on their way out, and you younger players whose stars were on the rise. And most people probably don't realize that yourself and Maurice Cheeks were teammates.
Yeah.
Derek Coleman and Bernard King were teammates.
Yeah.
You had Rick Mahorn.
Yeah.
Chris Morris, and of course Drazen Petrovic, all on the same team.
Yeah, we was just, that's a great bunch of guys. First of all, Mo Cheeks, he was on his way out. He was just playing Chris Morris, Derek Coleman. I think Drazen Petrovic had passed. He had passed away that year. Rick Mahorn. This guys is just great teammates, and I made the All-Star team that year, myself and Derek Coleman, and we had a very good team. But the East was loaded. The East was with Michael Jordan on Chicago and Scottie Pippen on Chicago, and then they had Cleveland, Mark Price, Brad Daugherty, then Knicks with Charles Oakley, Ewing, Andy Mason. And then Orlando with Penny Hardaway, Shaquille O'Neal. So the East, we played every night. It was tough competition, night in and night out. It was great, though.
And then watching like your maturation in the game, from high school to college and to the pros, but at the same time, I start seeing you not loving the game. So when was that time when you said, I don't love the game, I don't have that love, I don't have that fire, that passion for the game?
Maybe when I left Portland, I was just trying to get money, to take care of my family. Like I said, the New Jersey Nets, Boston Celtics, Portland Trail was awesome. But the other teams I played, I stayed in pretty decent shape, but I didn't really feel like the game. Then my mother passed away. My mother passed away on my way out, because she counsels. Then that's when I said it's time for me to do something else. When my mother passed away, it was time for me to coach and give back to the game that I love, and that was basketball.
And we love you for that, man. And especially with the documentary being open and transparent.
Yeah.
The last question is, what, as a father, what have you learned through the journey of fatherhood?
What the journey of my father, everyone is different. So you got to teach differently. And that's what I, with boys, nowadays it's 2020. It's just a lot goes forth with being a father. You got to teach them, about what the government. It's like the government now, and just every aspect of life you go through. And I say being a father can be very difficult. You know what I mean? So then with your daughters, you got men trying to talk to them, and it just get all crazy. And but the one thing you can be and always is be truthful. And I've always been truthful to my kids, no matter how I see it. I've been truthful, and I teach them the way I was raised. And me and my wife now, she says, you can't do that. You can't teach like you used to. I used to live, but and that's why I let my wife do a lot of the teaching nowadays for my kids. That's what I did learn.
Well said. I have that myself. Where it's even I've got it.
We're a little different. We're a little different.
Yes, yeah. I've got a 24-year-old, a 22-year-old, and my youngest ones are 12 and 10.
Okay.
And I can't do all the same things that I did with the older ones just because times are different.
Yes, that's
and it's like I really want to go old school on them.
Yeah, you can.
How I was raised, and I raised the older ones like that. And it's like, you
just can't do it. And that's what my wife, she's told me. I said, you're right. So now I listen to them.
Yes, indeed. That's wise words.
Definitely.
Well, if you folks were watching, you can see Kenny's Twitter on the bottom panel there. You can follow him at Chibbs_1. You can also find him on Instagram. Definitely take a watch for the documentary. It's been out for 3 years now.
Yeah, 3 years.
3 years. Yeah. Take a look at it. It's an excellent watch. Mr. Chibbs. Right now you can find it. You can rent it or buy it on Amazon Video. Kenny, we just thank you so much for your time.
It was a pleasure.
It's been a pleasure.
Pleasure.
The pleasure is all ours. You can follow Dad Is Not a Noun on YouTube, as well as you can find the
Follow.
podcast
That is
on
not a
iTunes.
noun.
That's right.
That's
God,
what's up,
Google
baby.
Play,
That
Spotify.
is not a noun. Get with it, baby. Get with it.
Shirts are in stock. If you want a shirt
Get
that
with it.
Kenny is rocking,
Yeah.
you can get one of those as well. But until next time, we want to thank everyone for joining us on the Dad Is Not a Noun podcast.